Hey guys, what's happening? Derek here from Simply Home, and I'm back with your September 2024 real estate market update for the Woodward Corridor. Let's get into it. So we're seeing some pretty significant changes in the market. I'll get into those in a second, but first things first, let's jump into each individual city. As always, we're going to start with Ferndale. So as of today, there are 53 homes on the market in the city of Ferndale compared to 34 that sold in the month of August. The average sale price in Ferndale in August was $267,000. That is down 1.5% from the month of July, although it is up 3% from August of 2023. And the homes that sold in August in Ferndale on average sold for 99.5% of asking price, and they sold in an average of 26 days on the market. Currently in Ferndale, there's 1.8 months worth of inventory on the market. On to Hazel Park. Currently in Hazel Park, there are 68 homes on the market compared to 27 that sold in the month of August. The average sale price for the homes that sold in August in Hazel Park was $181,445. That is a jump of 2.9% versus the month of July, and that's 5.8% higher than August of 2023. Currently, on average, homes in Hazel Park are selling for 101.6% of asking price, and they're selling in an average of 28 days on the market. Currently in Hazel Park, there's 2.4 months of inventory on the market. All right, let's talk Oak Park. Currently in Oak Park, there are 37 homes for sale compared to 24 that sold in the month of August. The average sale price for the homes that sold in August in Oak Park was $246,600. That is a jump of 7.2% versus the month of July, and it's 6.3% higher than August of 2023. Homes that sold in Oak Park in August on average sold for 101% of asking price, and they sold in an average of 21 days on the market. Currently in Oak Park, there's 3 months of inventory on the market. And we're going to take a second and back up for a second and talk about what that means. And all that means is if nobody else puts their house on the market, like starting today, it's going to take 3 months to work through all the homes that are currently on the market in Oak Park. Moving on to Royal Oak. Currently in Royal Oak, there are 164 homes on the market. That's condos and single family. And compare that to 87 that sold in the month of August. The average sale price in August was $404,618. That's actually down 4.2% from the month of July, and it's down 3.9% from August of 2023. And on average, the homes that sold in August in Royal Oak sold for 101.1% of asking price, and they sold in an average of only 14 days on the market. Currently in Royal Oak, there is 1.6 months worth of inventory on the market. All right, let's talk Berkeley. Currently in Berkeley, there are 27 homes on the market compared to 22 that sold in the month of August. The average sale price for homes that sold in August in Berkeley was $337,564. That's up 3.9% versus July, even though it's down 10% versus August of 2023. And I wouldn't read too much into that. We're dealing with a tiny little sample size in Berkeley. If you look back a year ago, I mean, we were like in single digits sometimes for the number of homes that sold in a given month. So that lends itself to pretty severe fluctuations in the average sale price. I think we're looking pretty solid. If you're living in Berkeley, I don't think you need to worry too much about your equity position. I think you're doing okay. And to illustrate that, the homes that did sell in August in Berkeley sold on average for 102.9% of asking price and sold in an average of only 12 days on market. And currently, right now in Berkeley, there's only 0.6 months of inventory in the entire city. Finally, last but not least, your favorite and mine, that little city with the big heart, Clawson, Michigan. Let's talk about it. In Clawson, currently, there are a whopping massive 9 homes on the market, compared to an equally whopping massive 9 homes that sold in August. Now, the average sale price for August in Clawson was $284,611. That's down 16.2% versus July, and it's down 2% versus August of 2023. Remember what I just said about Berkeley? Tiny sample size lends itself to big fluctuations in price. Don't sweat it. We're just fine. There's not some market crash happening in Clawson. Currently, the homes that sold in August in Clawson sold for an average of 98.5% of asking price and sold in only 15 days on the market. And currently, there's only 0.8 months worth of inventory on the market in Clawson. So Derek, what does this all mean? So this is kind of a unique month because the months that we're talking about here is right when that new settlement with the way that commissions are structured kicked in. And we're right in the middle of a pretty big influx of inventory, at least for us. We've seen our months of inventory go from like a year ago. We were under 1 month in like almost every city. We were 0.6, 0.7, 0.8 months worth of inventory. And now we're like 1.6, 1.8, 1.5. So except for a couple cities where there's still less than a month. But generally speaking, we're in a transitional kind of market. So we're seeing a lot more inventory, but at the same time, mortgage rates have dropped substantially over the last month. So what we're starting to see here is like some of these homes that were closing in August were beneficiaries of rates starting to get a little bit lower. And I think as we get into talk about September, October numbers, we're going to see the dynamics of the market change quite a bit because of that. But it's still a little bit too early to tell. They're not super reflective in these numbers because these are kind of lagging indicators of what's happening in the market. But what I'm seeing is a pretty good jump of inventory, coupled with a pretty good decrease in mortgage rates. I'd say like the 30-year fixed rate conventional mortgage on average now, like we're getting people into the fives. So, but I'd say I think that the average rate is still like 6.23 or something like that. But a year ago we were at 8%. So that's a massive drop. The Fed just yesterday lowered their rate by 50 basis points or 0.5%. That hasn't factored into the mortgage rates yet, but typically speaking, the mortgage industry prices in that increase or decrease by the Fed ahead of time, which is, we saw a pretty good decrease last week in the average mortgage rate. They were down about 40 basis points. So that could be what that is. But generally speaking, I think it's going to be a pretty good fall. It's going to be a pretty good fall for real estate. There's going to be a lot of inventory out there. It's going to be much more affordable. Like for every dollar you spend is going to buy you more house. And as of right now, typically when the mortgage rates go down, prices go up. But we're in that little window where that hasn't happened yet. So I know there's lots of people that have been kind of like sitting on the sidelines waiting for rates to go down before they start, looking at homes. And if that's what you were waiting for, I think we found the time, guys. Are rates going to drop even more? I suspect they will. But in the last 2 years, this is the most affordable time right now to purchase a new home. So couple that with, we've got a lot of first-time home buyer incentives as well. There's a lot of grants, a lot of down payment assistance, other programs, things like that. So it's the best time in the last 2 years to buy your first home. And if you've already purchased a home, as long as you've lived in it 6 months, if you purchase anytime in the last probably 26 months, it might be time to refinance or at least think about it, because you definitely could save some money on your monthly payment. So if that's anything that you're interested in, call or text me anytime. We can have that discussion, one-on-one. My direct line, as always, is 586-491-5622. You can also reach me at 248-561-6155. And hit me up at my email is derekwarenka@simplyhome.com. And you'll always be able to hit me on my old email as well, dwarenka@m1realty.net. So as always, thank you so much, guys, for watching. I look forward to bringing you updated information in another month. It's a pretty interesting time in the market, and in good ways too. Everything's moving in the right direction for consumers. So this is a pretty solid time. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I think we're gonna have a great rest of the year. And as always, anything at all that I can do for you, reach out. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back in a week with more information and back in a month with more stats. Thanks, guys. Have a great one.